Hi, I'm Erin Hentzel, C&T author and creator behind Avery Lane Sewing. I've written another book and I'm super excited for it to come out. Doll Studio Boutique, which is written for the 14 to 15 inch dolls like Ruby Red Fashion Friends, Welly Wishers, Hearts for Hearts, Glitter Girls. It's just a very, very fun book, chock full of projects. There's so much to love with the new book. I won't share all of the reasons, but here are my top reasons for loving the book. First, it's for beginners. As someone who loves to teach, this was really fun to write and imagine someone who wants to learn to sew using it and learning to sew. The beginning chapters go over all the tools and supplies needed to get started, and then moves into general sewing and techniques where the beginner will learn how to use a pattern and how to work with the fabric to cut out their pieces and then make their first stitches. But the tutorial section also includes other techniques that go beyond the beginner, like gathering and pleats, and is just a great book to help them keep going and keep adding skills to their skill set and just growing and learning. Another thing to love, the photos. They are just outstanding. Sydney Paulson, who did the lifestyle photography, just really did an amazing job. And the book reads like a fashion magazine. It's so inspiring to look at. It's beautiful. Another reason I love this book is there are so many projects. Beginner and more advanced seamstresses will be able to sew an entire wardrobe for their dolls. And I think that's just really fun. There's lots of accessories and mix and match sets. It's just super fun. And these dolls, the 14 to 15 inch dolls like Ruby Red Fashion Friends or Welly Wishers, are actually really fun to sew for. I really enjoyed that part of the book, sewing for a different doll, starting from scratch and making slopers, and it was just a lot of fun. And these dolls look so cute in everything in the book. And they fit very well. They fit all the different dolls just so great. Projects are structured so that they have variations. So the beginner can move past the beginning stages and add new techniques while sewing up the different variations and reinforcing the skills they've already learned. The intermediate or advanced seamstress will love the really quick to sew, pretty outfits and specialty details that they include. So you can see there's lots of different tops to sew with the book. It includes 4 different patterns for tops, and there's lots of different variations, and they all mix and match really well with the other projects in the book. First is the simple top, which is a great t-shirt look, but it's made with woven fabric. It includes a second variation for adding the peplum hem, which is great for beginners who want to start gathering. And the swing tank top is also a beginner project, and it has a couple different variations. The front can be left plain, or you can sew a placket for buttons in the front. The straps can also be lengthened for a cute little jumper, which I think is darling paired with the simple top there. The raglan sleeve hem has a couple different variations. It has a straight hem, which can be sewn with elastic at the waist, or the rounded shirt hem. It has 2 different sleeves. You can see the 3/4 sleeve and the button placket in front on that top. The next project is the t-shirt, which is a great, simple, very easy and fast project to sew. And it's a great project for beginners who want to try sewing knits for the first time. I've added some tap graphics to it to make a logo tee, and I think that's also really cute to have some graphic tees for your dolls. Anyway, there's lots to choose from and lots to mix and match with, and Super fun, and they all look so adorable. Next, we're going to look at some of the bottoms that go with all the different tops in the book. There are several skirt patterns, and there's shorts and pants. And I will note that the pants pattern is different than the PJ pattern. So it's a separate pattern, and it can be made into simple shorts with or without lace, cuffed up or left down. There's a simple straight pants. And then the variation on the pants is really cute. It has a little cargo pocket detail, and that's super fun. The skirts are great, especially for beginners. This simple skirt is the first project, and it makes a great first project. If you've never sewn anything for dolls before, this is a great place to start. Paired with the headband and the simple top, make a great class in your shops. Then there's the pleated skirt, which is awesome if you want to introduce pleating to your students. This isn't an overwhelming project, and they can get that experience. And I love the gentle A-line design on that. The other skirts are gathered, so when your students are ready to start gathering, there's several to choose from. First is the simple, just gathered skirt. And there's a pieced skirt, and then the last variation is the ultimate twirl, the tiered gathered skirt, which is really close to my heart. I used to sew so many of these for my daughter, and she just loved them. She would go around twirling, and she just loved that. And in kindergarten, she actually would wear them with her rain boots, and I just adored the way she looked in them. And so yeah, I had to include that in the book. Look at all the pretty dresses you can sew with the book. The book includes 4 different patterns for dresses and many variations and little details to add. The first dress is the modern vintage sundress, which has several variations, which include 2 different skirt pieces, collars and bodice details, a waistband that can be sewn on or left off. Also, you can make it into a summer top for a very playful look for your doll. Very sweet. And the next pattern is the classic sleeveless dress, which is a classic. It also has several different variations to do with 2 different skirt pieces, and the variation here in blue and white is my favorite. It has some pin tuck details on the bodice and a petite little collar. It's just a very classy look. The next pattern in the book is the vintage party dress, which has 3 different sleeve finishes and 2 different collars to choose from. It also can be sewn into a shirt dress style, like the gray and pink dress on the end, with a button placket on both the skirt and the bodice. It's a very sweet look. The last pattern in the book is the Fit and Flare, which is a knit pattern, and it is super fun, looks great on, and super quick to sew. Perfect for if you're starting to learn to sew with knits. I also included in the book several techniques and tips for sewing with knits, including how to set up your machine so that you are more successful at sewing knits. I usually encourage all my beginner students to try at least one knit project because I think they're not difficult, they're just different. And if you know the little things to do to your machine or tools to use, it can be a super fun thing for you to do. You may turn out to really like it. So I always encourage to try at least one knit project. One thing I like about all the dresses here, not only are they super cute, but they all fit very well on all the different dolls. I think the PJs all look super adorable on the different dolls. It's one of my favorite projects from the book, and it includes different ways to sew it up. The first is the PJ shorts, which have lace details sewn to it. The second is long pants, a PJ set. The pants have the traditional cuff hem with piping details. The nightgown has 2 different sleeves to choose from, and the book also instructs you on how to make a custom length for your doll. The last PJ set shown is the alternative for the beginners who may not be ready to sew sleeves and gathers that are necessary for sewing the intermediate level PJ top. And I chose to do it with a swing tank top, adding graphics with tap, and I just think it's a really cute look as well. The last project shown is the slippers. It's a scrap-friendly project, and it's just so fun to have these adorable little slippers as an accessory. While sewing and writing this book, I really had a ton of fun making all the accessories. I think accessories can kind of complete the look, and they're fun little projects to expand your knowledge base. I created 3 different headbands, and they're all beginners level, and I think just look cute on the dolls. The ribbon headband can be sewn with or without the bow, and the narrow headband is a super modern look, and then there's the wide headband, which is reversible. Next, I'm showing you the bucket hats, which I'm a fan of bucket hats. I made a ton for my kids when they were little, and I just like the versatility. You can dress them up or dress them down. And first, I made 3 different variations. So the first variation has a narrow brim and a little ribbon detail, which you could also, on all of the hats, choose to make a fabric flower or a fabric yo-yo with a button and dress it up that way. The traditional bucket hat's in the middle, and the third variation is the garden party hat. And I love the little split back design and bow for a added interest to dress it up. Little something pretty for your doll. Anyway, I think you'll have a lot of fun sewing these ones. So all the dolls chose their bags that they like best. You have 3 different bag projects in the book, and they're all beginner projects, so that's fantastic. The first is a basic tote, but as you can see here, you can dress it up and make it a shopper with tap, transfer artist paper from C&T. My friend Sherry from Cherry Blossoms Quilting designed the little graphics that I use tap with to add to the projects, and I think it really just pulls it all together. The next project is Little Miss Tote. She is a bag that I used to make for my daughter's friends when they had birthday parties. My daughter would pick a book or whatever and put it inside, and it always was really fun to see them using it. The last bag is the knot handle bag, and that's really a trendy bag and a little more dressy and super fun. Lots to choose from. Doll Studio Boutique is also fat quarter friendly, which is awesome. Most of the projects only take a fat quarter to complete, and the patterns are in the back of the book on a pull-out sheet. Also included is a link to download and print at home, which is great. And I think it also makes a really pretty display in your shop, especially if you have a gift section, because a lot of people sew doll clothes to give as gifts at holidays and birthdays, and I just think also giving the gift of sewing would be amazing. An activity to do together, or just to share some inspiration and get them started sewing. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and happy sewing.